The room has been quiet too long. Not the silence of peace, but the silence that follows unanswered prayer. The kind that folds itself around your voice until even you stop believing it can be heard. How many times have you spoken with the weight of faith and received the echo of nothing? You've sown words like seeds, fierce, desperate, holy, and waited for rain that never fell. There is a sound deeper than speech. There is a frequency beneath faith. And money, like every form in this world, responds not to words, but to the vibration hidden inside them. You were never ignored. You were misaligned. The tone was off. The chord of your command did not match the code of the gate. And so the gate remained closed. But not today. Today, something ancient wakes in you. Not a concept, not a lesson, a sword, sharp as law. Silent until spoken, and once spoken, irreversible. You hold that sword now, not in your hand, but in your tongue. The law is not an idea, the law is a rhythm, and rhythm obeys only those who know how to strike the chord clean. Place your hand on your chest. Not for comfort, for memory. You did not come here to hope. You came here to decree. You came to unbury the sound that money recognizes. And speak it. The symbol has been chosen. It is not a feather. It is not a flame. It is not a prayer. It is the sword. Because when tone is law, the word cuts reality into obedience. Now listen, not with your ears, but with the place inside you that remembers the contract. The part of you that has never begged, only declared. Let this whisper beneath your ribs. You were never waiting for the answer. You were always the sound the answer was waiting for. The law is not far. It is not mysterious. It is not slow. It is exact. And the gate that has not opened, opens to tone. Speak before the world speaks back. Speak with rhythm. Speak with heat. And as the veil lifts, a deeper sound will call one you've always known, but never dared to command. You will not be taught here. You will be remembered. Let this be heard. Asterisk, asterisk, I do not ask. I install. Asterisk, asterisk, the blade has been drawn. The echo begins now. But when the silence becomes unbearable, a new sound begins to form. Not louder, truer. It doesn't arrive from outside. It surfaces from the marrow. From the hollow where your voice once curled in shame. Picture your breath coiling like gold thread through a cracked vessel. Feel it heat the chamber behind your breastbone. There, where the first word was ever forged. Not in fear, not in begging, but in vibration. The original tone of authority. This is the law of tone. The law does not recognize your fear. It does not move for need. It answers only frequency, sharp, exact, embodied. Touch a coin, a dollar, a scrap of receipt. Every material holds a memory, not of its value, but of the voice that last touched it. Touch it now as if touching a living altar. Let your voice echo this. Asterisk, asterisk, everything my hands touch grows and obeys. Asterisk, asterisk, not because you hope, because the word you speak carries no tremble. Money is not loyal to thought, it is loyal to tone, and tone is not wishful, it is forged. Your tone is not a whisper of lack, disguised as affirmation. Your tone is not a soft chant trying to convince. Your tone is the bell struck clean, and the world rearranges to match. Place your palm over your chest, not as a symbol, as a switch. Whisper it beneath your ribs. Asterisk, asterisk, I am the sound that makes gold remember its name. Asterisk, asterisk, when you speak over money, it remembers the shape of increase. It does not multiply by accident. It multiplies by command, and the command is not volume, it is alignment. Say it without doubt. Say it with the sword in your throat. You are not hoping to be heard. You are the frequency being obeyed. Let this seal into your bloodstream. Asterisk, asterisk, I am not one who waits. I am one who vibrates the gate open. Asterisk, asterisk, money is not moved by stories. Money is not moved by tears. Money responds to the drumbeat of decree. What you touch, you imprint. What you declare, you awaken. Let your hand become the scepter. Let your tone become the law. And when the touch is exact, even dust becomes seed. Even seed becomes field. Speak this into the field. Asterisk, asterisk, my word enters. My word does not return void. Asterisk, asterisk, but what happens when that truth echoes back and when the tone lands, a shape begins to form, not outside, but within the field. Where nothing had formed before, now there is a door. And it does not appear to the eye. It appears to the voice that dares speak as if it already walked through. Picture your voice as a torch pressed to a blank wall. The flame reveals not what is added, but what was always carved into the stone, only hidden until heat made it speak. This is the law of movement. The law does not respond to hope, it obeys motion. And the first motion is always verbal. Before the form arrives, the decree must rise. Before the hand knocks, the tone must declare. Before the door appears, the soul must become key. Whisper this as if heaven is listening. Asterisk, asterisk, what is mine recognizes me before I knock. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not waiting for the gate to swing open. You are becoming the vibration that builds it. Silence is not sacred when it masks hesitation. Stillness is not surrender when it is soaked in doubt. You speak not because the world is ready, you speak to make it ready. You do not ask where. You declare from where you already reign. Let your voice strike ahead of you. Let your word go before you like a flame. Say this now. Asterisk, asterisk, I do not seek the door. I install the threshold. Asterisk, asterisk, reality lags behind decree. Reality is not the source, it is the echo. The world responds not to intention, but to installation. Let this vibrate beneath your ribs. Asterisk, asterisk, my voice precedes my presence. My word arrives before my feet. Asterisk, asterisk, what you await delays itself when your sound is absent. What you chase retreats when your tone is hesitant. But what you speak forms. It cannot not obey. Let your lips be the hinges. Let your breath be the blueprint. Let your decree strike first, and the door will know its place. Speak before the world speaks back. The invisible listens to rhythm, not request. Declare aloud. Asterisk, asterisk, I am the sound that calls structure from mist. Asterisk, asterisk, the law does not build for those who wait. It builds for those who vibrate its shape in advance. And then, something inside begins to shift. The thread tightens, the gate opens, and in your chest, a new heat arrives. Not the fire of desire, the flame of return. Something you released long ago, now begins to make its way back. See it as a seed once flung into darkness. No one saw, no one clapped. But the ground remembered. And now the soil breaks. Not because of time, because of tone. This is the law of circulation. What leaves your hand does not vanish. It waits. It listens for what vibration sent it. And it answers not the act, but the voice behind the act. The law does not count value. The law counts frequency. When you give even a breath, the field records the tone, not the coin, not the number, the sound. Let this be heard. Asterisk, asterisk, this seed returns as field. Asterisk, asterisk, every release is a rhythm. Every rhythm installs a return. But if you give in fear, the field mirrors drought. If you give in decree, the field returns harvest. Bless what leaves. Name what moves from your palm. Do not hand it off in silence. Let it carry your voice like a map. Picture your offering as a torch in the night. Where you place it, a path ignites. Where you speak it, a return begins. Let your voice carry this. Asterisk, asterisk, what I give, I anoint. What I anoint, returns multiplied. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not reduced by giving. You are magnified by the echo you embed in the act. Even the widow's oil did not run dry. Because what was poured was blessed. And what is blessed, the law cannot forget. Your silence delays the field. Your command accelerates the flood. Whisper this as if heaven is listening. Asterisk, asterisk, this is not departure. This is installation. Asterisk, asterisk, every cent, every crumb, every kindness, it becomes code. And the code has only one question to answer. What tone sent you? Send it with the sound of certainty. Send it with the sound of inheritance. Speak this into the field. Asterisk, asterisk, what leaves me, returns appointed. I do not give, I plant. Asterisk, asterisk, the law keeps no ledger of numbers, only of vibration. What was once silent now starts to hum. The hum deepens, the mist parts. And what you thought was absence reveals itself as illusion. Not because it never existed, but because your voice had not yet cut through. This is not a metaphor. This is not a vision. This is the law that wields the blade. This is the law of the sword. Lack is not an enemy. It is a fog, a shapeless veil that drapes over truth, waiting for the sharpness of decree. Do not debate with the mist. Do not reason with shadows. You cut. Let your word be edge. Let your voice become the unsheathed command that slices delusion from destiny. Declare aloud, the sword of my word cuts through illusion. Fear of not enough is a smokescreen. It appears heavy, but holds no weight. It threatens to suffocate, but carries no substance. What has form obeys tone. What has no form flees from command. Do not argue with the fog. Do not plead with silence. Speak, and let the blade drop. Place your palm just beneath your ribs, where the breath meets the flame, and let the decree rise like steel. Say this now, my word is not soft, it slices. You do not beg fog to leave. You do not wait for clarity. You declare it into being. Lack does not dissolve from understanding. It obeys the law of forceful truth. And your truth is not emotional. It is architectural. It is ancient steel. Every time fear appears, it arrives without roots. You are the one who gives it soil or who removes the ground beneath it. Let this echo through your bones. I do not explain. I install. I do not fear. I forge. Reality listens not to anxiety. It listens to accuracy. And accuracy is sharp, exact, final. You do not chase clarity. You become the blade that carves it. Whisper it beneath your ribs. My voice is a sword that does not miss. And when that sword rises, the veil splits. And what was always yours stands exposed. The thread tightens, the veil tears, the path clears, and as the veil tears, the sound sharpens. No longer a hum, but a note with direction. A word not sent upward, but outward, into matter. This is the shift from prayer to installation. The voice that once asked now becomes law. This is the law of installation. The law does not obey longing. It does not kneel to repetition. It moves when the word is sealed with certainty. To plead is to delay. To command is to crystallize. Your voice was never made for requesting. It was made for rooting, planting, impressing into the invisible. Let your voice echo this. Asterisk, asterisk. My voice already contains what I call asterisk, asterisk. You do not speak to receive. You speak to announce what already belongs. Desire without command is vapor. Imagination without tone is ink on air. But decree is installation. Let this be remembered in your marrow. Asterisk, asterisk, what I say is not a wish. It is the shape the world must take. Asterisk, asterisk, place your fingers on your throat. Feel the pulse behind your voice. Not just blood, blueprint. Every word you say is a frame. And the law is the builder that rushes to fill it. But if the frame is cracked with doubt, the law waits. If the frame is sealed with tone, the law obeys. Speak this into the field. Asterisk, asterisk, my decree is not future. It is form. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not submitting petitions. You are speaking blueprints. You are not hoping for recognition. You are identifying what already answers to your name. Your voice must carry this asterisk, asterisk, my word is the structure, my tone is the cement. Asterisk, asterisk, let this truth burn away hesitation. You do not install by repetition. You install by exactness, not many words. One word spoken as if it cannot be revoked. That is the law, that is the blade, that is the altar. And once it is spoken, the world reshapes itself to match. The root has entered. The ground has split. Now the stem begins to rise. And now the stem rises, not because it was watered, but because it was named. The invisible path begins, not with steps, but with command. The ground does not show itself until your word walks first. This is the law of the invisible path. You were not made to follow signs, you were made to be the sign. Reality does not bend to footsteps, it bends to frequency, to authority in sound, to the vibration that does not wait to see, but speaks as if already seen. Let this be heard. I do not follow signs. I am the sign. You are not led by hints. You lead the unseen into shape. You do not request confirmation. You declare what must take form. The law is not reactive. It is magnetic to tone. It organizes around certainty and scatters around doubt. Hesitation does not delay only time. It confuses direction. But clarity in speech carves a straight path through the fog. Let your voice become the first footprint. Let your tone be the torch that maps terrain. Say this now, where I speak, the path appears. There is no reward for waiting. There is only alignment in motion. And motion, in the law, begins in the mouth. Do not look for the path. Name it. Do not search for the way. Speak it into presence. Picture the air before you as water, still, undecided. Your voice is the rudder. It does not drift, it divides. Whisper this beneath your ribs. The unseen obeys my outline. Let the breath you release become architecture. Let the sentence you speak become street. What was hidden answers when named. What was chaos organizes when commanded. Speak this into the void. I am not lost, I am followed. You are not in search, you are in command. And when that tone roots into the unseen, the seen must respond. The gates swing open. The ground rises. And the path unfolds because the law has heard the tone it trusts. What waits in silence now steps forward. Because the word went first, and as the path opens, your hand remembers the vessel. Not what it lacks, but what it was made to contain. Not what it hopes for, but what it already houses in silence. This is the law of containment. You have mistaken emptiness for truth, but emptiness is not absence. It is instruction. The vessel responds to what is whispered inside it. Not to its state, but to its sound. A purse, a wallet, a drawer, these are not objects, they are agreements, and they obeyed the tone they receive. Let this be spoken. Asterisk, asterisk, you carry my inheritance. Asterisk, asterisk, not in apology, not in hope, in command. The law does not ask how much is inside. It asks what is spoken when it is opened. When you open your wallet, it listens. When you place your card, it listens. When you speak over your container, it becomes what you say. Place it in your hand. Hold it like a relic, not with fear, with authority. Let this echo through your breath. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not empty. You are mid-miracle. Asterisk, asterisk, every time you open it, you activate memory. Of scarcity or of certainty. You do not fill a container with money. You fill it with decree. And the decree pulls the form into place. Say this now. Asterisk, asterisk, you are the vault where my covenant dwells. Asterisk, asterisk, the law responds not to content, but to command, not to what is seen, but what is named. You do not own an object. You hold a gate, and the gate either reflects forgetfulness or remembrance. Remembrance is not nostalgia. It is vibrational alignment with divine provision. Whisper this as if heaven is listening. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not waiting to receive, you are returning what is mine. Asterisk, asterisk, you are not the beggar of fate. You are the architect of frequency. And the container, once aligned, does not drain, it multiplies. Let your voice seal this. Asterisk, asterisk, I do not touch emptiness. I touch inheritance. Asterisk, asterisk, and the moment you declare it, the field rearranges. Because the vessel now vibrates not with vacancy, but with certainty. The house remembers its owner. The gate swings open. The field turns toward you, and the root bears fruit. And now that the root bears fruit, the echo must be sealed. Not with silence, but with rhythm. The law has responded not to effort, to tone, not to effort to decree, not to effort to obedience in word. This is the rite of the 7 days. Not ritual for beauty, ritual for alignment, ritual for memory. Because the law listens to what you repeat, not for comfort, but for covenant. For 7 days, before anything speaks to you, you must speak first. Before the world presents, you must present your word. Before the transaction, you must anoint the field. Each morning, when the breath is clean and the veil still thin, place your hand over your heart. Not to feel, to command. Let this be heard: my voice is the password to abundance. Not metaphor, not charm, law. Each afternoon, when coins leave your hand, when bills flow from your palm, speak over them like seed. Let your breath carry this. Every seed carries return. And mine already responds. You are not spending, you are planting. You are not giving, you are sealing contracts. And when night falls, and the world has spoken its doubts, you must return to the mirror. Not to see your face, but your authority. Let your voice cut through the veil. I do not ask, I install. This is not a suggestion. This is the pact, not for practice, for transformation, not for hope, for alignment. Repeat without begging, repeat without fear. Repeat because the law waits to hear what it can obey. Let these 7 days become a throne. Let each word be a scepter. Let each tone shape the days that follow. And when you have spoken for 7 dawns, 7 acts of release, 7 nights of reflection, the gate no longer swings. It stays open, because the voice has become the rhythm, and the law has recognized its match. The veil is gone. The name has been spoken. The soil has answered. Because the word does not return void. Because you obeyed, the law obeys. This was not remembered. It was reinstalled. It is done.